spawns here, but this map's a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
So don't go into this game, guys, with the same mindset that we talked about in the last game.
Yeah, the game probably won't look quite the same. Like, you definitely can go Mutiling Bane whenever you want. Like, it's still definitely a viable composition. Yeah, that game was interesting. That was a good game. Now, we do have Beyond doing kind of what was stylistically his in many ways during the Legacy of the Void beta, like a 3-Rax Reaper play. He's very good with the strategy. He's used it a lot, but there is no way on earth Curious doesn't have this in the back of his mind that this is a build that Beyond may be using.
Let's see how effective this is. Beyond marching to his own beat here is going to go with this mass Reaper play. Of course, when you do builds that look like this, one functional problem is how do you get into mid-game in a healthy fashion? And the only way to do that when you're doing a build like this is to either not allow mid-game to occur because you've killed them, or do so much damage that you eke out your additional bases in a manner that you're in a lead because of how much damage you did to them.
We've seen some pretty cool Terran players as well with these, like utilize the Reapers pretty late into the game, like even picking off roaches.
Uncool Terran players do that, Artosis.
Yeah, I guess actually we've seen a couple
cool and uncool.
Jerk faces do it too.
All right, the Reapers are coming down now. Reaper, I should say, and hitting these lings. You know, there's actually a lot too where you throw those mines, where you throw those grenades. And this is where the pressure is going to come on. I don't know if this is the best build for this map specifically.
Yeah, it's got, like, I guess a lot of jump up area, but it's only on one flank, really, I guess is one way to put it.
There's only one area of entrance. It's not like they can suddenly hop into your backdoor base if your queens are just out of position. It's pretty straightforward.
Definitely a map that Beyond has done this build on quite a few times, though, so it definitely has that experience to know how to execute this very, very well. And he's going ahead for the command center behind this, of course. And a Roach Warren on the way for Curious, mixing in some drones here as he can.
Oh! Ooh. Yes, he does get that queen. I was holding my breath there. And this is really where you get that critical number where it starts to get a bit scary. Even though Reapers don't do a ton of damage to queens, when you get enough and they have the opportunity to chuck grenades in various locations, it's tough.
Yeah, it certainly is. Like, that's a lot of Reapers right there. You have to deal a lot of damage to kill them, and then they definitely have the opportunity to heal up. Now, a lot of damage being done to these queens. Lings being pulled. Good transfusion right there. That was really nice.
Oh, nice job. He does gun down one Reaper. Though he's going to try to close in here. Not going for that second queen. Oh, yes, he will. Oh, what?
Ooh,
oh, my God.
Very good grenade. But, yeah, he does miss that queen, which is important.
He could have gotten that kill, actually.
Oh, that's a lot of Reapers right now.
Kind of funny-looking engagements.
Third command center going down. We do have roaches being added, but slow roaches in small numbers right now. I think Beyond can absolutely out-micro them with some of these grenades and whatnot.
There is a command center that started, by the way, for Beyond, but it's a ways away. Worker count right now, it's 20 or 30 SCVs to 31 Lings. But this is enough Reapers where these Zerglings start to die incredibly quickly.
Certainly is the case. He does have some Ravagers coming out.
What do you think of the Ravagers here? What is your take on this?
Well, you know, I guess you get those extra corrosive biles and whatnot. He actually did clean up pretty well. The Ravager is just like a better unit than the Roach overall. The Roach is just...
Don't say that to the Roach, I mean.
Well, I mean, I think every Roach wants to be a Ravager, don't they?
Yeah, they want to be a Ravager when they grow up.
Yeah. Like, oh, look, Immortals won't kill me as bad. But yeah, I'm cool with the Ravagers. I really like Zergs that get like 3 Ravagers against Terran generally, just so that they can deal with all sorts of various things that come, including Liberators and whatnot.
Well, it's at the point in time where Zerg can slowly push back the Terran. It's no longer them trying to just hold their ground. He's actually almost able to edge out, and I believe, and it's not 100%, but I think there's a strong chance that Zerg will have eventually a counterattack timing here. Because Terran's made so many Reapers, Terran has not been making Marines for most of this game. So, you know, lack of Marines is a bit of a problem. I mean, when you just have enough to win a fight head-to-head against Reapers, the Reapers tend to die very quickly. They're quite brittle units.
Now, this is kind of interesting. I really like the fact that Curious is grabbing a macro hatch right away here. You know, he had to actually make like so many Lings and non-drone units and whatnot. You know, he definitely missed a lot of injects. And this is going to kind of help make up for all that. He's definitely going to have some really great production coming down, and the fact that he's got the 2 Evos, he's got that Baneling Nest as well, he's just making sure that Byun is not going to be able to kill him anytime soon.
The third base is now up and running. He's beginning to mine from that. 1-1 here coming from the Zerg. There's also, I think it's almost exactly synced up, 1-1 here for the Terran as well, so they're going to be even on the upgrade fight.
Yeah, definitely very important to keep those upgrades similar with both sides.
That's right, Artosis. What?
I don't know. You were just looking at me nodding your head.
Yeah. There's something about the pause there as if there was more to add.
No, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's completely true. Yeah.
You're right, they're pretty close. It looks like +1 armor will finish, and then, Carapace first for Zerg, and then the other ones.
By the way, Stim just finished. That gives Terran a little bit more room. He might actually move out. Yeah, he does move out as Stim finishes here. I'm not sure how effectively aggressive he can be, though. We have the 2 medevacs coming out.
Yeah, we do have Baneling speed on the way. As that finishes, that's going to just do really well for Curious. When you get Baneling speed before your Spire, that's like as safe as you can be against ground attacks. So I think everything's looking totally fine for Curious right now, especially with these Ravagers to just help buy him a little bit of time.
There's not much these Marines can do over here. Zerg's not apparently trying to... oh, no, he is trying to expand over here. Excuse me. There's a drone down there. So he's going to try to just push this back. Meanwhile, he's going to send his Reapers up.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Whoa, that was bad. Whoa,
that was...
Whoa.
You know, I think the Reapers actually caught him off guard there and lost those
that's
Banelings.
exactly what happened.
Picks off yet another Queen. The amount of Queens he's killed this game is actually quite astounding.
It's becoming to the point where it's getting quite alarming even.
Yeah.
Those Reapers, by the way, still alive, so he might be able to throw Curious off once again.
Jeez, I mean...
Here come those upgrades.
More Queens have died here than during the Middle Ages, Taste.
This is brutal,
crazy.
man. Oh, he's going to come in again. Reaper's over here to help cover. Might be able to throw some grenades over there. Oh, great connection there.
Really?
And that attack is over.
What a cool move, making those Banelings bounce to the side. I really like that, the grenade flank type of maneuver.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, but Byun has been doing some fantastic work here. He's like keeping, like Curious is, look, he was forced to actually scout over, or rather expand over here, immediately going to be canceled here by Byun. Byun is doing a fantastic job of controlling this game in every way.
Curious has actually tried to set up a 4th base 2 times, and Byun's denied it. And the longer that Terran stays on 3 bases against the 3-basing Zerg, the more Terran is ahead in this game.
Yeah.
Here we go. We see it again. He's doing a great job, I got to say. This is pretty commendable.
Yeah, Byun is playing fantastically. This is one of the reasons people are really excited to have him back in the scene playing in these tournaments.
Get on the Byun hype train.
Yeah, it's real, man.
Ticket, please.
Ticket, please. Oh, man.
He's coming up again now. Looks like he might be hitting on over here on the center left. I don't think these medevacs can actually get out. Good control here so far by Curious.
Looks like it.
And that's going to be the end. And I think now Zerg should be able to get a base. The question is it too late? Has it been too long?
It's super late.
It is.
It's for
quite
sure.
late, friend.
Starting your 4th base this late is so painful. I would say especially because it's Mutiling Bane here, and like you have vast supply shifts with Mutiling Bane. Like a lot of times when you wipe out the Terran army, you've lost as much supply because of the Banelings and Lings dying so quickly. So hopefully what we can see from Curious, if he's going to go ahead and win this game, is secure that base and get some harassment done with those Mutalisks. Get some value out of that.
Okay, he's coming up now. Stimming and spreading. The Widowmines do go down. Looks like they're going to have some good targeting, but I think there might just be too much here for Curious. Oh, nice connection there.
Yeah, he's going to have to run out of here. Stimming once again, just trying to get out. Does leave those Marauders behind, but the Banelings on move command will not hit them.
He's going to have to pick up and then boost back out of here. Thor and 2 Widowmines here to cover. Zerg finally, possibly, going to be able to finish that hatchery in the center left. He has to, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, certainly. We do have 2-2 finishing up for both sides. Those drilling claws for the Widowmines finishing up here for Byun, who's going to switch into that type of tech again as well. And Byun is going to have to think about taking this 4th base now. And in fact, he does start a command center for that.
Oh, he's going to possibly come in over here. We saw that unload. Yeah, you are right, Artosis. Terran also has to expand. Turns out that's also a thing they got to do in this game.
Yeah.
We've been focusing on Zerg quite a bit, but that's bases are pretty good in StarCraft.
Well, that's the funny thing. If this was like Heart of the Storm, we just see Byun continue to attack him in this 4th base, and then the game would be decided. But he's going to have to take a 4th himself even. Now, we do have that harassment I was talking about starting to go down, and this is really good. This is exactly the type of move that Curious has to do to make up for the fact that his 4th base is so late.
Okay, he's coming down now. Widow Mines are beginning to burrow. This might be the push that Byun is going to... might turn this game upside down, to be frank.
Yeah.
He's got really good position here. He's going to have access to the main if he can actually take this out.
Well, he does start to wipe some of it out. There are some Widow Mines sitting there. A Thor coming up as well. In the meantime, 24 SCVs have gone down. That's very, very painful.
That's a little crazy, man.
And now the Mutas actually could end up going down if he doesn't micro these properly.
Well, Craig
I don't know
the Muta
about
micro. Well, that did not do enough, and now I'm starting to think Byun is in horrible shape here. Keep in mind, these Mutas are going to intercept not just these ones over here, but the ones that are flying down from the north are going to be able to intercept all of these medevacs. And oh my God, we don't have a preview PC here like we do at SPO. So I don't know what the exact medevac count is going to be, but I think it's around 4 right now.
Yeah, it's pretty low right now. Well, we'll see. He's finished his 4th base up. He did get some drones there. He definitely got a decent amount of units there, but the army is looking really strong right now for Curious.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, we're going to have a bit of a role reversal now. It's going to be up to Zerg to deny this Terran's base. That's the winning conditions in this scenario that we're in for Byun versus Curious.
Well, we do have 3-3 about to finish here for Byun, and that is always one of the scariest times when you're going Mutiling Bane is when Terran gets 3-3, because you almost never get 3-3 until very late game with this type of comp. So it's going to be a lot harder in just a moment here if they do have any big battles.
No Mutas with that army, so he wasn't able to take out the command center. I love this micro, by the way. We didn't always see people doing this.
Yeah, it's very nice to see him picking off everything he possibly can. This is exactly the way that he needs to be playing, and he is doing a fantastic job of it. He's got his 4th base up, denying Byun's 4th base while harassing his economy.
And he's got enough capital, he might even take the bottom center base as well.
Well, right now we do have that 4th floating over, but we do have the army of Curious there ready to stop the Mutas, keeping all of these Marines in the main. So by forcing all those units to be there to defend against the Mutas, he's making it so that Byun can't possibly land his 4th base. So Byun is in a very tricky spot here.
All right, the Mutas are going to go ahead and start hitting these depots. Kind of scary whenever the Mutas come in here to harass because there hasn't been a base that Terran can set up right now. It's anytime the Mutas fly into that main or that expansion, I mean, it's rich with SCVs. Yeah. So he can take out a lot of workers. In fact, he might be able to come up in through here. He can take out this turret, and then he can get a few more workers.
Oh,
whoa,
he's got to be careful not to get caught,
that.
though. Losing a few Mutas here. Thor does hit him from that low ground. Going to have to fly out the long way, I guess.
Mutas torn to shreds back there. Just starting to hit anything on the periphery of Byun's base is Curious.
Yeah, right now, Byun is trying to trap these Mutas as best he can, but we do have a huge Ling run-in here into the front natural.
Okay, not sure about those Banelings there.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary.
I think he might have been better off just with the Lings, but he might feel compelled to have to commit to this attack.
And you know, what I was going to say is, like, what if a good Widow Mine shot goes out? Like, to bring up that many Banes with no clear plan?
Yeah, there's not any proper agenda with that.
He lost quite a few Banelings there. That was, I think, a little bit too much. I'm not sure why he's attacking in the front. Just denying the 4th base is probably good enough for now.
Oh. That was cute. I like that micro dodge in the army as he was hitting those liberators. He's going to come down now. He's trying to just take out the remaining forces so we can keep that base alive. Meanwhile, the Unseen, seen an opportunity, is going to try to push over here into the center left.
Yeah, he's got to make these Banelings connect with as many Marines as he possibly can, but a huge army rolling in for Byun right now. And that 4th base will be taken out. In the meantime, another drop over at what is the 5th, but going to be the 4th, unless it's taken out as well.
Byun might be able to actually even this out entirely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he might actually just win this. He's going to be able to get this hatchery potentially. Transfuses are going down. The Mutas are coming over here just in time.
Oh my God. If only he had +4 attack, that definitely would have gone down. But, well, that's something that there's a good chance it's going to be sniped at some point here, which really hurts. But in the meantime, Chitinous plating 3-3 on the way for Curious, grabbing a few Ultras out here as well. That's definitely going to help, but we do have some more Thors, Liberators, Widow Mines, and what have you for Byun. So definitely he's making a composition that can deal with a small amount of ultras.
I really thought Curious had this. I really thought there was no way he was going to lose this game once he got that 4th up and began doing this harass over here.
He was coming back in a really strong way. Like, Byun had gotten a nice advantage, I would say, and then Curious was like building up his advantage. I think the mistake might have been when he brought up the Lings and Banes. Like,
yeah, that seemed to be the beginning of when this started to get turned on its head.
Yeah, I think he was trying to like catch Byun's army like moving around poorly or something.
He's not even bringing his whole army here, by the way. That's really sloppy.
Yeah, and letting...
Now, 3-3, by the way, almost done for Zorg here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to actually attack until
anti-timing.
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 Anti-timing. Anti-timing.
33's done.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Go!
Get him!
Yeah, that's like, you got to be very careful about that. I mean, if the engagement's good enough, you can take it anyways, but obviously 3-3 going to make a huge difference here.
A huge difference.
But that's a strong amount of ultras right now. This is like...
He has been able to replenish. He's not even actually taking his gases yet at that other base. So this is about the most ultras he's going to get for the time being. He needs to secure that again pretty soon. I mean, Zerg really hanging on by a thread here. A hatchery that you could throw a firecracker at it, it would explode. It's so low on HP.
Now, this is the part where it gets kind of interesting again, where this becomes a little bit of a complex problem for Terran to actually end up solving. Like, when your opponent has creep and ultras that are fully upgraded, like, that is an army-killing army. You just, as Terran, you generally cannot engage against ultras with a land force on creep. It's just not going to be a doable situation. But
creep spread this game better than it was in the previous game.
Yeah. He's pushing it out, and like Byun just scanned and saw that he is taking that bottom right expansion. So we see Byun starting to spend his money on these more mech-heavy units. Like, we see a Thor being made, more Widow Mines, a Liberator. These are the types of units that he needs to be able to eventually win. But he can't like go too ham on the other side of the map. He needs to like kind of stay a little bit mobile, see if he can maybe cancel base, get some drones, do a little bit of damage somewhere, but has to be very careful about attacking right now because Curious has a great defender's advantage with these ultras.
At the same time, though, with this injured hatchery and this pretty exposed hatchery in the bottom right, if Byun does hit him at the right angle, this game could end in Byun's favor as well.
Well, Byun is moving up. Okay, he's brought his Liberators. He is going to try to set up. Curious is going to want to hit not under Liberation zones. Like, wait till he unsieges or something like that.
He needs to keep buying time. You got to treat Liberators a little bit like they're siege tanks.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
That's bad. Ooh, every Liberator right now is so important.
Yeah. He's just beginning. So yeah, you want to treat Liberators like they're siege tanks. You want to get them to go into a static defensive mode and then run away. And you just keep doing that, keep buying time while you reap the benefits of that expansion. Counterattacking here also very effective. This is another great way to play the game.
Absolutely. This is something you absolutely must do in this type of situation. Like, make Byun send some units home or keep some units home. Just buy some time here. It's taking Byun a while to try to attack.
Here we go. He might be able to go past the Liberators here.
Yeah, looks like he gets right past them as they do set up. And this is a lot of Ultras and Lings going all over Byun's army. And there is no way Byun will hold on here.
Yeah, and I think that's it. GG.
Yeah.
Curious wins game number 2.
It's a very tough situation, a situation like that. And as I was saying, like, to actually attack in there, it's so tough as Terran to kill a Zerg off in a situation like that. It's just like the Ultralisk-based army is an army-crushing army. But if you are playing a defensive game, Curious is going to have an extremely hard time killing you as well. So,
very true.
Very tough decisions all around. These guys are playing quite well, but Curious so far outshining Byun.
Some Liberator misplay back there as well. He set the Liberators up, and I think he might have even had to. Well, I'm not sure if standing your ground would have worked, but the army actually walked past the Liberator animation during the setup. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you had a position that was irrelevant, completely covered. The Zerg army had already breached that and was chasing him down. As well as Curious taking out a couple Liberators here and there that weren't properly defended. Byun is good. He is no longer wearing that cool sweatshirt.
Oh, man. Well, he's getting a rise in body heat right now from losing 2 games in a row there. That's what happens. I lose too many ladder games. Tastes, I tell you, I get just about naked.
I'm always playing games naked. Guys, if you ever encounter me on the ladder, I want you to know that I'm probably naked at my PC. I am the only time I'm really wearing clothes is when I have to leave the house. Africa won't let me cast this naked, so I got to put up with this stuff here as well. But yeah.
Maybe we could body paint your suit onto you. People wouldn't be able to tell.
They wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You're fuzzy enough. You look like fabric.
Yeah. All right, game number 3 coming up here. We're going to go on Dusk Towers.
All right, excellent. Very good map. Now, this is a map that we've seen players like TY, when it gets to that late game and he sees that you have an army that he can't really attack into, we've seen him actually divide the map and wait for Zerg to basically leave. I'd love to see Byun do something like that. He's definitely a player that has had more stamina in matches than almost any other. This guy can play long games.
Statistically, in the early days of GSL, he had the longest games.
Yes, he absolutely
Stamina beast. Almost forgot about that. Good analysis there. Now, let's not forget, though, Curious, he only has to win one more game. I mean, he might even want to try cheesing here. Why not? Why would you even waste your time with the long game on this map?
Maybe. There's a lot of interesting things at play here. I just love Legacy of the Void, how much this has changed the dynamic of everything.
It's a real treat, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly is. Tell your friends, nerds. Sick matches today.
Welcome to the Church of GSL.
Ooh, yeah.
That's right. All right, our game is it's loading up. Join us. Tell other people to tune in and come here. Byun against Curious. Game number 3. Can Byun turn it around, or is Curious going to close this out?
Welcome to GSL. Look in the eyes of the insane. They build a war machine. Something we've never seen. Now it's
Well, those are good lyrics. They built a war machine. Something
We've never seen.
Anyways, Byun's in the top right. And down here in the bottom left is Curious. See?
아프리카프닉스 큐리어스.
Okay. There's a huge audience here today.
Thank you guys for coming down. We love all of you. Hope you're enjoying today's games. Looks like we are once again going to have Reapers.
Yeah. You know, Reaper openings are always very nice, and without like a drone scout or something. Curious can't necessarily tell if it will be a 3-Rex Reaper or just a single Reaper, for a little bit at least.
And Zerg, it's a very traditional build, just going for that expansion in the back. This is what we normally see players do. I mean, it's so easy to take that back expansion and reap the benefits of that, and then with those benefits, take the third expansion, or third base, whatever you want to call it, just outside your main.
Yeah, that's the expansion with benefits, as Tasteless described.
Expansions with benefits, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if these bases are down for expansions with benefits or not.
Well, they benefit you by giving you, you know, more minerals, but at the end of the day, that's another place where you can get harassed.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of headaches you have to put up with in a situation like that.
Yeah. All right, well, teching up here for Byun. Nothing too out of the ordinary from either side. Just going to wait a little bit and see where they want to go with these techs.
The Reaper's coming up. And we already see, it's got to be careful. It looks like he, okay, no, he's not going to get even one ling here.
I think he'll get one. I think you generally get like 1 to 2 with the Reaper Scout nowadays because of the grenade. Before, like, at the end of the hardest swarm, you would get 0 lings.
Yeah.
You just bruise a bunch of stuff and make a drone turn into a spore. Like, nowadays, I think it's like, yeah, you get a couple lings, yeah. A grenade just adds that little bit of extra damage.
I think it's a good addition to the Reaper to have that in there.
I think
especially when you get him in high numbers, there's a lot of cool stuff you can start to do.
Yeah. Definitely like the changes to the Reaper. Definitely makes the early game much more interesting with some of these other possible builds.
Looks like he's edging in here again. Sees that there was a drone transferred. Link speed almost done. And that should trigger the end of this Reaper harass.
Yeah, quite a quick layer this game from Curious.
And a Baneling's Nest now.
Yeah, quite a quick Baneling's Nest as well. Ooh, look at that. He actually gets a creep tomb. I love it.
Ooh, that's actually a really good way to utilize that grenade.
Yeah. Throw a grenade, have a couple shots, bam, that's like really nice. We do have some Hellions coming down. We do have Liberators on the way as well, and I wonder if this is going to be a Spire? Baneless maybe for defense?
Possibly. Now, if he's going to go for the
yeah.
Liberators, what you normally do is you go fly around behind the mineral patches and start setting up to gun down drones.
Look at this. Is he waiting and getting... Okay, a Nidus. I was like, is he waiting for Baneless speed? What is going on here?
Liberator can be handy in holding off this attack, too, here with the Nidus. But if the Liberator's on the other side of the map, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. And Queen's just kind of holding on to this right now. So Bjorn has to look at this situation and be saying to himself, okay, this could be Nidus play. This could be a very fast Spire. And that's really the two things it could be here. Because of no third base, of course. Now, I believe... Okay, his Liberator is coming across the map.
Okay, this actually might just work out here for Curious. Now, he's going to send the Queens in here first, and everything else behind. He has Transfuses ready to buff the Nidus if it's taking damage, to buff the other Queens. You name it, he'll do it. SCV's now being put into position. In an unfortunate moment, swapping buildings.
Yeah, well, let's see how this works out for him. He's bringing his SCVs over, landing a Viking. Yeah, that's going to help. Wow. Just not even close with those Banelings popping out. Really smart move there, knowing he's going to have to pull his SCVs. And this is looking very tough for Bjorn.
Yeah, more Banelings are being made. There are some Hellions here to help out. Liberator's set up in a good position. He needs to get these Queens back. Oh, wait. He can actually get that. He doesn't need to do anything with those Queens.
Nice pick off there.
Excuse me.
The 5 Queens showing their dominance.
Okay, more Banelings. What?
That was bad.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to end the game there for him, but he just had 4 Banelings hit a starport.
Yeah, that's really wasteful.
Really bad.
Especially when you have so few units out here right now. In fact, this might
almost
have actually done.
Well,
with the Siege Tank popping out and whatnot, he does bring 2 more Queens.
Okay, he needs to get that Liberator and do it fast. The legs are coming down now.
You know what he needs here?
And I think
4
Liberator.
Banelings.
Yeah, he needs 4 Banelings badly. I think that actually Curious just bungled this.
He did bungle it a little bit, but let's not forget he killed a lot of SCVs, so like there's still a chance.
Just one Queen. You'll never take me alive.
We don't want you alive.
Now, what I'm wondering is, does Zerg ever... No, okay, he beat me. What I was going to ask... Sorry, I'm like stumbling over my words here. I was going to say, does he try to Nidus again? The answer is no. He's going to go for a Spire and try to expand, knowing that Terran probably lost more workers than the Zerg has right now. And that's somewhat true. It's 29 to 33.
Yeah.
That, I think, could have ended, though, had those Banelings actually connected with something that mattered, not a starport.
Yeah, like if he got good Baneling hits on units with those 4 Banelings, then everything here definitely does look different. But yeah, I mean, he still did a good amount of damage here. But Bjorn has 3 command centers already, so I'm not like too afraid for him. He's going to be able to really produce a lot of SCVs, get his economy right back on track without too much problem.
These Hellions come in here doing a little bit of damage. So far, 4 drones. 5 drones have been picked off, but the Lings do come in here and take care of that. Let's also not forget that a Nidus Orb can be used later on in this game. I think a lot of times people see, the failed Nidus attack and think, well, that's it, but this actually can have a lot of functionality later on in the game.
Sure, yeah. Don't know if that will come to that. This game is going to have to put a lot of money into these Mutalisks coming out. And
we call them Mutalisks?
Yeah, that's what they're called. What do you call them?
Mutalisks. Potato, potato.
Mutalisk, potato.
Potato. Okay, unfortunately, he's not quite in range of any drones here, and this means the Spore is going to just shimmy over here and drive that back out. Nice Overlord placement, denying the command center. Now, we have about a dozen Mutalisks coming out.
Yeah, there's quite a few Liberators, missile turrets on the way. Like, Bjorn is completely ready here, so, I think he's in good shape. Curious doesn't really have a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, this game should stabilize. +1 attack coming here for the Mutalisks. Zerg is going to have map control for a while here. If Terran decides to drop, I don't believe there's... are there even any medevacs out? I think there actually aren't. But if he did decide to drop with medevacs, would he have gotten them? It would be a risk because the Mutas are going to be dominating so hard.
Yeah, well, looking at this game as it is, like with the fact that we don't have upgrades coming for Zerg, he's actually making another Baneling Nest. He's kind of on autopilot for that.
Wow. Okay, that's actually really funny.
It's I think his only chance here, realistically, because I really do feel like Bjorn is in a pretty good spot here, especially with his upgrades on the way. Like, the longer the game goes, the more Bjorn is going to be getting ahead, is to get probably Baneling speed. Like, get his economy really flowing, get Baneling speed, and, like, crush the army when it comes out. Like, really overmake units compared to what you would normally do in an economy-based game. But we'll see if that's how it goes.
Look at these Liberators. They are isolated.
3 of them do come out. They do have splash damage, so he's a little bit afraid. Does run away.
Spread that out a little bit.
Yeah, the repair on the missile turret really forced that retreat. But he is getting a couple Evos.
Terran is pushing here.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting because the Liberators are, in fact, not with this army. There's no medevacs with this, which makes the Lings actually terrifying.
It certainly does. He is about to have 1-1, but he doesn't have combat shields yet.
Yep, that's true.
So definitely that kind of helps out on the Ling side.
Oh my god, he needs to spread these mutas to take out the rest of these Liberators. He does get 2. 3 remain.
Okay.
We have more mutas being pumped out here for Zerg.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to really get too much done here on the creep. Going to siege up his tanks, but as you said, with no medevacs, this is a position where, you know, he's kind of stuck there. So he does back up for now. Maybe he was looking just in case. He's like, okay, if you're taking a 4th right now, I can probably cancel with this 1-1, and yeah.
Kind of funny to see Terran have skipped medevacs for so long. It's interesting. I'm kind of not used to seeing it.
Yeah.
We do finally have 2 entering the mix, with 2 more about to complete in production.
I think it was like kind of a cool play, you know, just if you get this many Liberators early, that's going to do very well against those Mutalisks. That splash damage is something they really can't deal with, and the fact that Curious put all of his economy into mutas as opposed to, you know, like trying to take expansions, like the medevacs would have been good if he was trying to expand here, right? Like he could have went around and drops, did powerful attacks, but he was really in a harassment-based strategy, so to counter that unit hard seems pretty cool from Bjorn.
He's doing a good job again here with these Liberators, just really dealing damage to those mutas. The mutas, I believe, the entire clump is, no, about half the clump is bruised.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of an issue.
If they were bananas, they would be on sale rack at the store.
Yeah, for sure.
But don't worry, they heal themselves unlike bananas.
Yeah, that's one problem with bananas is they don't regenerate health.
Yeah,
that's
I would
a big
really
issue.
Tell you, the amount of brown bananas I have to end up throwing out.
I'm trying to find the upgrade for bananas to get more HP. Oh my god, and this game is done.
Yeah,
that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Really?
Do not drunk drive your mutas through an army.
Pretty insane Baneling hits there, so really unfortunate that he drove those mutas through the army, but luckily for Bjorn, he does end up taking a game here.
I think he double bound his hotkeys there. I think he had mutas that came out and he bounded to that group, but then tried to have that group micro back and ended up having his entire muta army fly through those Marines.
Definitely could be. Yeah, that was interesting. You know, you were very right about Curious's mindset going into this game, saying, screw it, you know, I'm up 2-0, may as well do a cheese here. Try to just have a quick victory.
Yeah, why not? Legend, the coach now, Legend has done almost everything in esports in the booth.
Yeah.
This guy was a pro gamer, and then he was our observer here at the GSL for a while, and now he is the coach for the Africa Freaks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Really like that guy.
Great guy. Bjorn, kind of a one-man army here. Nobody in his booth to support him.
No, certainly not. He's the lone player of X Team here. The Wolverine, some might say.
Some might say, yes.
He's finally regenerated. He was down to just a skeleton like in Cable's future.
That's
but finally he is back.
It's those adamantium bones, man. You know, that's in fact not his superpower. What his superpower is that he regenerates with those claws. That was a surgery that they did to him. They took Wolverine, they removed it. I don't even know how this medicine works, man. I mean, but I can't believe they're able to do this and can't cure cancer yet. But they actually took his bones out and gave him an adamantium skeleton and the ability for those, every time those claws come out of his hands, Artosis, it hurts. Did you know that? It's actually cutting through his skin.
Well, I did know all this because I am a nerd and I love X-Men, but they actually didn't take out his bones. They fused adamantium onto his bones.
I stand corrected, thank you. I would hate to misinform our audience on these pressing matters.
That would be a travesty indeed.
That certainly would be. Our game's loaded up, by the way. We're going into game number 4. Beyond right in the comeback train. Can he keep it going? Let's find out. This is the GSL CodeA. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
Xteam 현.
and in the upper left, in the red,
아프리카프닉스 큐리어스.
yay!
All right.
Curious always looks like he's tired.
I know, it's awesome.
Like he's like trying to win the GSL, but like on several doses of melatonin or something.
Well, he certainly plays with a lot of energy.
He certainly does.
Lilac Crest.
That
4-player
map
map.
name just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
It truly does.
Lilac Crest.
Lilac.
Lilac. Is Lilac a word?
Clearly, yeah.
Well, I mean, is it a word in the normal language? Is it like a...
yeah, it means dead Protoss.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow, thank you.
Yeah. I found that out myself by laddering on this map. Okay, so just a Reaper expand. Curious actually going for the gas and pool before the hatchery.
Compliments to the beards out there.
Yeah.
Beard approval.
Their beards are actually even more epic than your beard.
They are. They are. Don't worry, I'm going to come back with an even more epic beard. I'm going to have beads hanging off of it. I'm going to go to like a little weave in it like Brad Pitt did for a little bit, you know?
I think you should.
I see just different bits of food in there. Maybe have like a little bird nest. Baby birds
bird
living
nest
in
would
my
be
beard.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
There you go. We have a Roach Warren coming here, Artosis.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have some very aggressive opener here from Curious. And the fact that Byun is grabbing this Reaper, can he scout the Roach Warren early on? To see that hatchery, he has to look at that and say, this hatchery is slightly late. He should absolutely be aware of this timing, that there had to be at least a pool before that hatchery.
Yeah, I guess the question, though, is he going to be aware of the roaches?
Yeah, that's the thing. He has to kind of guess what's going to go on. And he's already building a bunker, so you see that Byun is pretty on top of things here.
Yeah, he seems to have read this correctly so far. Now, the bunker, that helps, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's safe.
Yeah, Ravagers can put a lot of pain onto a bunker.
That's why we need to get Blizzard to upgrade the bunker with wheels so you can micro it around. Think about that.
You should be able to just lift off the bunker and have it still shoot.
That's
just
right.
Mass flying bunkers.
Flying
I would
bunkers.
go back to Terran for that for
yeah,
sure.
for sure, man. My bunker's just
But maybe if
slow-pushing.
you kill it while in the air, the Marines all die or something.
I was hoping they'd parachute out to the ground.
Yeah, that would be much better.
He spotted it.
Okay. Time to see what his micro is going to be looking like here. Pure drones behind this for Curious, so he's looking to kill a decent amount of SCVs with this, basically. Right now, he is down in the worker count. I love this move.
That's so cool. Look at that.
I love it. Especially good in these spots.
That's awesome.
On the other
that
side.
never would have even occurred to me.
Yeah. Like, for instance, if he was attacking towards the north, that might... No, I guess if he was attacking towards top right, that wouldn't work as well because of where the reactor would be. But look at this. Some really nice corrosive bios picking off quite a few
can get the bunker.
SCVs.
He can totally do this.
Yeah. He's got to be careful. He needs to keep these Ravagers like, ooh,
Oh.
a little bit sloppy there, losing an extra Ravager.
Oh.
Continue to put some damage on here. We do have a siege tank on the way, and that's going to basically finish off this.
Let's see if he gets his depot. Nice. All right, he does that. He's going to kill some SCVs.
Wow, a few extra SCVs here is actually fantastic right now.
He's going to get the tank, man. Look at this.
Yeah, he really wants that siege tank, and does end up getting it.
Okay, that did a lot more than I think anybody expected.
Yeah.
I think even Curious is kind of going, wow, I just...
7
just wrecked
SCVs, a reactor, which takes forever to make, so that's a lot less units that can counterattack
a bunker, which was destroyed.
Yeah, a few units,
a
depot. The siege tank was actually a very big deal because, I mean, right now he doesn't have anything against possible siege tank medevac harassment.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That'd be very annoying. In fact, we do see a medevac coming over with Marines, but not the same as a siege tank.
We have the hatch coming down now, the third base. I don't... Is he just... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see these Marines in medevac. I was like, does he just have that tank rallied towards the Zerg base? This is going to be a pretty depressing end here.
Okay, so Curious going up to layer, taking his third base. A little bit of harassment going down here from Byun. Not sure how much damage he'll really find right now with this small amount of Marines. I love seeing some damage being put onto that medevac when possible. That
Roach actually not being picked off there. Nicely done. We have some more Ravagers being produced. Worker count is 38 to 44. An Evo chamber is about to finish. There is still a chance for Zerg to try to do another attack here. He's just building up for now, but I mean, Zerg's in very good shape from the way this game started.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with Roach speed on the way and this +1 ranged attack, I wonder if he's planning on getting aggressive pretty soon here. The thing is, Byun already is utilizing these siege tanks and medevacs, and you know, this is exactly the type of tech he wants to use against a Roach-based army. So, tech-wise, Byun seems to be doing quite nicely.
Oh, nice dodge.
This is so annoying.
Yeah, this is what the good Terrans are doing now, and the Zergs out there are not too happy about it. It is pretty annoying, pretty difficult to deal with. In fact, he's probably just going to get the Spore Crawler, making this look like a pretty futile attack.
He does force him to back up for the time being.
Look at this.
Yeah, he just keeps microing back with it.
Just like Reavers in Brood War. This is what, there was a unit called the Reaver back at Brood War, and it looked a lot like what we're seeing here. They get speed with the shuttle and just start to micro it back. Now, Terran has actually a good push distance. So Byun, out of all the maps we've had and played on here, this is probably the best chance he has to win with a straight-up push.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in this type of situation where he's actually got a good, healthy amount of siege tanks. If he can whittle down this army a little bit, it's going to go a long way.
All right, he's got 4 tanks in the back now. We don't have any Banelings in this army, by the way. So, I mean, Zerg is just going to have to fight this head-to-head, and it's not going to be pretty, I'll tell you that much. Corrosive Bile is not that hard to deal with.
Yeah, he does have Roach speed, and we have a +1 range attack about to finish, so he might be trying to hold off of that, but a lot of damage coming in right now from Byun.
That hatchery getting lower and lower here.
All right, here we go. We do have Curious pushing forward right now, throwing down those Corrosive Biles.
Whoa.
Almost none of them hitting a big flank of roaches here. Looks like he maybe routed just out of the third.
Yeah.
And he will basically clean everything up, but most of the siege tanks, 3 of the 4, are going to get away for now, and that's
what's most important. Yep.
Yeah, you got to keep these siege tanks alive. The one thing we should point out is that we don't have a 3rd command center for Byun, so this is a very aggressively styled push. And if he doesn't get some serious damage on, it becomes a little bit rough being down that base.
All right, he's coming down now. The push is continuing. Simeon coming forward here.
Ooh, nice pickoffs here. Siege tanks doing some work.
Actually doing a great job. Byun still might be able to break him. Zerg army is pretty beefy, though, pretty scary.
It is. And, like, the thing is, if he gets to clear all the Marines again...
Oh, my God. He's going to get 4 queens.
That's really nice. But this is
3 queens.
It's a big army right now for Curious. His army actually kind of wins heads up. It has to be really fantastic tank micro.
There's not enough Marines to absorb damage in time for the tanks to deal damage.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, he can kind of outmaneuver here.
He's going to need to flank this when it's actually time. He's got all the Marines down here, so this could be a good time to send some units down. Where do you keep your medevacs? Do you have them healed? Do you have them pick up siege tanks? It's pretty tough.
Okay, and he's coming down now. Doing a great job. Stimming and just killing off all of this. Oh, my God.
Really good
Perfect
micro.
Play.
Wow.
Byun might be bringing us into Game 5.
Yeah, this is a very strong comeback right now.
Yeah. You know, the problem occasionally with Roach Ravager is it's just such a basic army comp, you know? It's not like the micro to outmaneuver Roach Ravager is that sophisticated for Terran, right?
Yeah, it takes some finesse to do it as well as we're seeing here from Byun. But, I mean, this is great. He's doing a fantastic job just whittling this down. Byun having very little left over.
I think these tanks in the back are just doing too much damage. The tanks are going to live on forever here. He does take 1 down.
Now, don't forget, we do have Byun just on 2 bases still, so that is definitely an issue here. We still have Curious going much stronger economy-wise.
All right, he's coming forward now. Again, this hatchery is very low. It's been taking a beating for most of this push, so these Roaches and Ravagers are going to have to commit. Does Terran have enough, though?
Yeah, he actually is picking off a siege tank here. Has to back up. doesn't really have that much production going on right now. 1 siege tank at a time, 7 Marines at a time. So every time Curious pushes this back, it becomes more likely that he's going to be able to do something in this game.
It's a very good point. And, you know, when you look at what's going on in the mini-map in the bottom left, we can see that Terran doesn't actually have 3 bases. He has not had 3 bases this whole time, where Zerg has been. So even though the push was scary and Curious was barely holding it, it was certainly not enough to balance out this game, right?
Yeah. Now, I kind of like this move. It's very interesting to see a couple Liberators coming out. So he might do like a very entrenched
he's
push.
He's going to go for the hatch.
Oh, well, he does get it in a matter of seconds.
That's what he had to do. That's all he had to do.
Yeah. And
oh, my God. But
well,
this is also pretty huge.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of kills here, you know, just on the production facilities. And when you get on top of those production facilities, it becomes very difficult.
Look at this. He just runs right out of the way. He can even get this other reactor if he wants.
Oh, I love these liberation zones going up right now. It does drop that siege tank kind of in the wrong spot. We do have a counterattack here by Curious.
And he's actually doing a lot of damage. He's got to get away from that Liberator. I'm not sure. Did he get that tank down there?
I'm not sure if he got the tank.
I know it hit it, but I'm not sure if it's still... Okay, it's still there.
In the meantime, we do have these roaches still doing some damage in that main base. They got to be careful about that liberation zone. Marines coming up. They are going to be able to trap them in here.
Okay, he was hitting that eBay, but that's not too impactful here.
Still a pretty decent supply for Curious, but it is roach based, so it doesn't count as much as you would think. And there we see a lot of it actually taken out.
He's coming forward now, unable to break this. The Liberator is just too difficult to handle. Boom, Medevac very low on HP here.
Good micro once again by Byun.
Yeah,
holding
great
on
micro.
Here. Curious trying to retake this base, but his economy is really, really hurting at the moment.
Yeah, his economy is in shambles after he lost that hatchery. Had that hatchery not been picked off, this game could be very different. I think we'd see Curious actually taking the top center base instead of trying to retake his natural.
In fact, Byun just has scanned that top center base, realizing that, okay, this is where Curious should be moving very soon. In fact, even catches that drone moving up. So looks like Byun's going to send out a drop towards that, knowing that a hatchery is going to be starting. And to force even one cancel there is an awesome move here for Byun.
Yeah, that's huge. You know, I feel like Curious is kind of stuck here going Roach Ravager.
Yeah.
I don't believe that he wants to be going Roach Ravager this whole game, but he doesn't really have many options.
Yeah.
You know?
You're very right about that.
This is kind of a funny game.
He's got the upgrades. His economy's kind of wonky. He can't transition. Like if he tried to make mutas now, he'd just lose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you know, he still definitely has a shot here. You know, you get out of position as Terran at all, and those Roaches and Ravagers definitely can do some damage. Now, we do have that cancel go down, and this is such a low econ game at this point that canceling something like that hatchery for Zerg is so, so brutal.
He's actually coming up now, and he's going to plant a hatchery right over here. He needs to get that other base up badly. Zerg has been on his third base for longer than the Terran, which means Zerg's third base is going to mine out more quickly, which inevitably means that Zerg is going to be shorter on cash in the long run if he doesn't have more expansions up.
Yeah.
Byun, on the other hand, he's got a solid army and not a difficult distance to push across.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard to do this.
That's very true. We do have good creep spread, though, coming out of Curious at this point, and he's made a lot of Ravagers. So, you know, it is going to be pretty hard actually breaking with the amount of corrosive bios that can come down.
Okay, he's continuing to press forward here, making these Marines run. He might even, you know, I'm still trying to map out the best places to corrosive bile, but I almost feel like you want to just be corrosive biling behind their army if you have roaches.
Sometimes.
You know?
It's like you can try to predict how they're going to micro or where they're going to be and whatnot.
It seems like a lot of times they fire it where they are, but I think, you know, no matter what, Marine micro, there's never exactly a point in time where you stutter step forward unless they're already running. So if you're going to stand your ground, maybe it's better to do it from behind. I'm not sure.
You know, with this many, I'd love to see just like a smattering of them all over the place, like a grid formation, so that some of them are going to hit no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Well, right now he's trying to get some of these money shots with those corrosive biles. We do have this hatchery finishing, a little group of roaches keeping it safe for now. And we do have Hive on the way as well as Infestors. Now, these Infestors are so crucial. If you fungal growth any piece of Byun's army and throw corrosive biles on it, it's gone.
That
is
very
just
true.
Completely erased.
This
and
is
such a low
actually
econ.
Yeah,
wow.
This is the core unit that that Curious was desperately trying to tech up to, because without it, you're pretty much always going to outmaneuver the Roach Ravager. But yeah, with Fungal here, I mean, it's a complete and total game changer.
Right now we do have Beyond microing here in the middle. We do have Corrosive Biles coming down. Almost hard to see there, but we do have Beyond dodge almost every single one of them. Bringing up Siege Shanks now. These Infestors, though, they definitely can make a big difference, but we can't have Curious lose too many units.
Huge Corrosive Bile connections.
Yeah, that's
he might not even
so
need Infestors. And now this ground army is on the run as he's trying to get these tanks to safety.
Okay, I want him to back up. If Curious is to win this game, he cannot attack right now with Pure Ravager. You don't want to attack with Pure Ravager. Get some Roaches in there to tank. Get your Infestors in there. Go back, regroup. That was a good engagement for Curious, but that is not just a game win right there.
Sure. As our game continues on, Zerg might be looking at prospects for the upper right. That's not really a position that Terran can push. Terran, on the other hand, should be trying to make a command center eventually here on the bottom center. Zerg supply now exceeding Terran. Enough Infestors out with enough energy that Fungal is a factor here.
Yeah, the Fungals are going to have to be real, though, because right now we have similar army supplies.
They're going around each other.
Oh, God. Well,
this is going to be
this
weird.
Could just be a flank. Like, we might see Beyond out of position like we saw in Runes of Saris.
Okay, I don't know what he has as far as this army from below, but let's see. Here we go. Liberators now setting up. Fungal growth is coming down now. The Ravager's taking too much damage, and it's going to be a surround as we have a massacre of Zerg units.
Beautifully done there by Beyond. He had his units spread. He knew that that was coming in from behind and just destroyed everything, even with those Fungals
that's
up.
Game.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That should be game, and that means we're going to go to game 5, guys. Sick.
Awesome. Beyond with a sick comeback so far. Looks like he is still trying to hold on here. That was a really good Fungal and Corrosive combo, but
by the way,
doesn't have much left.
Beyond really showing why he was such a deadly force there at IEM. This guy's really improved a lot.
Curious still trying to hold on. He still does have a bit of an economy, more than Beyond has, but the thing is his army is so much weaker.
Well, he's going to be up here in the tech tree. Goodbye Ultralists. Goodbye anything complex here for Zerg. He's trying to do a counterattack. He's trying to make a spare Roach Warren before his own Roach Warren is destroyed over here. But meanwhile, Marines are coming down doing so much damage. And we see a counterattack, or at least the beginnings of something in the center. No, he's actually retracting that.
No, he's trying to scrape together something here, but there's not a lot that can be done, especially considering this drop finally comes in. Really good move by Beyond. He was very patient here, really, with that little set of Marines, and it pays off right now with a huge amount of drone kills.
Okay, well here comes the killing blow now, as he stutter step micros forward, since he's winning this battle so badly. And yeah, that is going to be the game. Curious is now, it's tied up, dude.
Yeah.
Curious started out with a 2-0. It's going to be 2-2 now, which is pretty huge.
Well,
GG.
I tell you, if Curious falls out in CodeA right now, he's not going to be too happy about that. But Beyond is on a tear.
He really is, you know?
Yeah. Playing just fantastically in Legacy of the Void. Love watching the return of this guy.
Isn't this interesting? We had Beyond as one of the best StarCraft 2 players early on. He had fantastic long stamina games. Curious has been dumbfounded now that this is actually happening. Curious has been one of the more consistent players in StarCraft 2 since the start of Wings of Liberty all the way to here in Legacy of the Void. But Beyond has dipped into obscurity and has come back now. Crazy.
Yeah, it's quite a story indeed. And
Can he get through? Beyond is back in town.
Can he get through the legendary gatekeeper to CodeA?
Let's find out. Curious in a lot of ways the final boss in CodeA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very, very true. But Curious has really stepped it up lately. He's playing great, but this last map is Pion Terraces. I could definitely see a very aggressive game coming out of either side.
Expect anything. We got a weird map. It does not look like the players are going to be utilizing any sort of break. In fact, I believe if I turn around and check, the coach has left Curious's booth. And so it's all going to come down to this. Who do you think's got it, Artosis?
Oh, man, this is a really tough one. I think that we're going to see a cheese from at least one side.
Okay.
So it's very hard to predict what
If we have a
how
cheese,
this
I think it'd be
goes.
from Curious.
You think so?
I think so.
I think we might see like a 3 Racks Reaper or something against from Beyond, to be honest. There's
You know,
like
he
multiple
already
entrances.
tried it once. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's better to build on that map. I was thinking he already tried that once, and it didn't give him that much of a leg up.
It's my favorite map for 3 Racks Reaper, personally.
Yeah. You know what I think when I see this as well is that Yun's wins are interesting. It's like he's barely forcing his way through. He's not winning by like the best strategies or even the best builds. He's just got this tenacity as the game goes on, and it sort of weathers the other player.
Totes my goats. Yeah. All right, Prion Terraces, guys. Who will do what? A crazy map with those gold bases. Multiple ways into the main base with Reapers. Definitely could see something like that. Definitely could see Curious do some sort of blind counter or something like that as well. Is it double fakey or something?
Plenty of strategies and builds tailored specifically for this map and no other map, because there is no other map like this map.
Yeah.
I do like that this map is in our tournament. I think it does reward creative play. It really does force the player to think outside the box.
Oh, did you hear they're actually going to fix this map, like make it a lot better by taking either the 3rd or 4th gold base and making it the natural gold base instead?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so that it's not just Zerg that can take gold bases.
I think they should do something like that.
Yeah, it's a really great idea.
That would go for some strange unit compositions. I like that maps are developing more and more in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Because with different maps, we got different strategies. And with as many different strategies that come out from those maps, it just makes this game more and more enjoyable.
Well, taking quite a while to get this game going.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the delay is. Okay, never mind. We're starting it now.
All right.
All right, get ready, get hyped. Yun versus Curious. It all comes down to this one game. Curious, one of the most consistent StarCraft 2 players of all time, against Yun, who just got 2nd place in IEM.
Welcome to GSL.
This is the GSL CodeA. Let's go. In the bottom right in the blue, he is
Xteam 현.
in the upper left in the red.
아프리카프릭스 큐리어스.
Just want to point out here, guys, we don't have a lot of best of 5s that start out with one player having a 2-0 and then the next player wins 3 games. I mean, to put this into perspective, Curious would have wrecked Beyond had this been a best of 3.
Yeah.
However, Beyond may very well win this if it was a best of 5.
Yeah, it's best of 5 is like absolutely better than best of 3.
I agree.
I don't think there's a fan or a pro that thinks otherwise. So it's just fantastic. I love the formats that we have here at GSL. We're the best.
We're the best. We're better than the other guys. Yeah.
Now, Byun is going for 3 Racks Reaper. I am not surprised by this, but Curious went pool into gas into hatchery. So I think he feels this coming, and he really wants to be ready for it.
Okay. Let's see how ready for it he is here. I'm standing up, Artosis. Getting wiggly. We're standing up, man. That, and I'm casting for so many days, my back's starting to hurt, man. Sitting in chairs truly is bad for you. Okay, second barracks almost done. We already have 2 Reapers on the way. Or third, is that third barracks?
Yeah, that's the third barracks about to finish.
I said, wait a minute. He can't be getting all those Reapers out like this.
Yeah, that speed very quick. Do have another queen on the way. Natural hatchery about to finish up. And the Overlord does kind of show exactly what he was thinking would happen. Sees those 2 racks up front. I'm sure he can assume that there is a third one in the main.
Can we point out, to the left of this queen, there's actually a giant pylon down there.
Yeah.
Imagine you take that out, this whole map loses the
It falls out of the sky or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
right. It plummets down to the to whatever's below it. Since apparently all StarCraft maps or matches are taking place in high up places. So
As they should.
yeah, that's right.
Look at this. A lot of damage being put onto this Spore. Doesn't quite get that drone. Good micro there by Curious. Lots of Lings on the way, 2 more Queens as well. So this is, like, Curious is really doing, like, he's anticipated the strategy. It's not like it's super hard because Beyond loves this strat and it's good on this map, but he's countering it very, very well, I feel.
The Reapers keep coming up.
Yeah, these Queens are just buying time right now. The Queens are not the real defense. These Queens are just letting him build up enough Lings that he wants to do a full surround on the Reapers. And if he can kill them off, like if he killed almost every Reaper, the advantage would go heavily to Curious.
I actually like how he faked going up into the main and then looped that back around and hit those Queens with the mines.
Look at this. Oh, a 1 jump up